So I just got done doing the Ascalon first impressions, and I have received I have gained newfound respect for Oda. Why? Because he is simple. He is very simple, he is very easy to understand, and I can clearly say where he'll be good and where he'll be bad, whereas if Ascalon, it's like, oh, I'm trying to just wrap my brain around it, but it's gonna be so tricky. Okay, here's the thing about Oda, right? He's a welfare. He's a five-star welfare. He is surprisingly good. Why is he good? First of all, his attack stat is surprisingly high. He is the first of a new archetype, the Earthshaker archetype, right? And his archetype has the second highest base attack out of any guard archetype in the game. The only guard archetype that has more is Crusher by a few hundred attack. Every other archetype he clears pretty easily. Even Flamebringer has like 300 less attack, which is saying something. So that's the first thing that's good about him. He has a very strong amount, very high amount of attack for his rarity and for his class, coupled with Centurion level HP and defense, which makes him fairly bulky. And then the other thing that's really nice about him is 2 block. 2 block, 18 DP cost with max pot. So good. I'm just every time I see a 2 block, I'm so happy. But anyway, his kit is pretty straightforward. So the way Earthshakers work, right? They do AoE physical damage. They're like flingers. They're like splash casters. They do AoE with each hit. The AoE is a 0.6 tile radius with basic attacks, and then if you're using his skill 1, the enhanced hit does 1.6 tiles of AoE, which is less than Meteorite skill 1, but is higher than typical splash casters, which have 0.9. So generally speaking, it's pretty good in terms of coverage. And then his skill 2 is basically just like 27% levitate uptime. Someone did the math. And then general stat increase. So, and then obviously his talent, you can read it yourself, is very straightforward. But here's the thing about him, right? He's very simple. I said he's very simple, and the reason for that is because he does one thing very well, and that is he is a slug killer. When I say he's a slug killer, I just mean like he's very good at dealing with hordes of fodder units, low defense units, low defense, low HP, the type that like to Zerg rush you, that they like slowly come in and they're like, we're going to overwhelm your block count, we're going to overwhelm you with numbers, and like Oda doesn't care. Like, he's not a Centurion guard, sure, he can't attack all blocked enemies, but he can attack in a certain radius, and that does give him certain situations where he'll be more useful. At the same time, since he has the levitate effect on his skill 2, there are also situations where you'll want him for the levitate effect in certain niche scenarios where maybe enemies aren't immune, or enemies are immune to all other crowd control except levitate. Like, for instance, I don't think he can affect the IS-4 ending 2 boss, because I think the ending 2 boss has too much weight, but that would theoretically be a situation where you would take him because of the lack of levitate immunity. So that's the thing about Oda in general. He's very good at cleaning up weaker units, and he has situations where you'll bring him for maybe just to be a 2 block. He'll be very good behind Flameringer and 5 stars Sarkaz only. They'll be good buddies because he gives Flameringer so much advantage to be in the front, because now he has someone reliable in the back behind him. And then again, like I mentioned, the levitates, the splash radius. There are situations where this will be good. The problem is like in Sarkaz Knights as a whole, you won't see him a lot because he's still a 5-star. He still has he has very simple skills. His utility isn't that good. He'll be really good in 5-star Sarkaz only, but in general, you won't see him a lot because nowadays it's like, how low can we get this clear to be how low op? Can Ascalon solo this stage? Can Typhon plus who knows who solo this stage? So on and so forth. So very simple. He's surprisingly good for a welfare, and I'll take any freebie I can get. He looks adorable, but I'm also glad he's like the son of those Centurions that we usually fight. It feels like we've come full circle. But beyond that, I have a newfound appreciation for him just because of how simple he is compared to Ascalon, right? I like him. I like him well enough. Let me know what you think about him in the comments, but not a very standout type operator, but for certain situations and 5 stars especially, he will be surprisingly good. So, I'm satisfied. I'll take what I can get as long as it isn't another paprika. So let me know what you think, and I'm going to go have nightmares about Ascalon's kit. I It's going to take me a couple weeks to get used to that.